Okay, in part 2 of installing Windows Server 2008, I just want to kind of go through this whole installation process with you. And this is going to look kind of funky for you watching the video because I'm actually going to start the recording and talk a few seconds and show you some of the steps, and then I'm going to pause it so you're going to see this thing in a greatly compressed time frame. But in part 1, put the disk in, started installing, talked about the what's going on in the background and collecting information and so forth. We're now in step 2, installing Windows, and as you can tell, it's given us a progress report. We've got quite a ways to go. We've been running now probably about 8 or 9 minutes. We're expanding. We've expanded 67-68% of the file. My machine's probably running slightly slower than what yours is going to do because I'm in a virtual environment. So you know, yours may run slightly less than this. On average, these things are taking around 45 minutes to install. So I'm going to pause and I'll join back up with you in a few seconds, and we'll kind of watch this thing progress as it goes. Okay, as you can see, we've now completed expanding the files, and we should very soon here move to actually beginning the features installation. And this will go a few minutes and we'll install updates and complete the installation. And notice how quickly we're starting to move through now, and so I'll be back with you in a few minutes. So we've completed the installation. We're going to have a restart here. This is our first restart, by the way, and we'll see the server actually shut down, come back up and restart. We're just going to leave our hands off of it. We're going to let it take care of things. The resolution is going to mess up on the video here. You're going to see some pretty bizarre stuff, and there we go. It should jump back into your view here in just a second. So here we go. We're rebooting. I'll join you back again once we're up and running and show you what's happening at that point. So now we're just kind of watching this message flash a couple of hundred times here. Please wait while Windows sets up your computer, and nothing too exciting or flashy going on, but the installation is progressing smoothly. We're probably, I don't know, 30 minutes in, 35 minutes in, and so I'll let you know. I'll join you again when something else happens. Well, let's just hold on here. Here we go. We're continuing to boot up, and again, what I really like about this is I haven't touched this thing since I told it what version of Windows to put in. Okay, so the thing just kind of runs. So after maybe 3 or 4 minutes, we jumped back into the graphical portion of this, and it's advising me now that it's completing the installation. Notice how far we've moved on the status bar down here, and so we're beginning to work through this thing very nicely. And so I'll join you again near the completion. Okay, and so we have rebooted one more time, and so that was 2 reboots on the installation, but again, I haven't had to touch anything. On this last time it started up, and notice it is informing me the user's password must be changed before logging on the first time. And so I will click OK, and it's going to ask for a new password. Now it's going to ask for a certain level of complexity, and so I'm going to use one of the standard passwords that you'll use if you go to an official Microsoft class, and that is the capital P @SSW0RD, and I will click here. It will change that password, and I guess what I should have done is shown you. If I try to do anything too simple or not complex enough, it will just tell me no, you can't use that. It violates the security policy of the computer. There is a default one there. So notice it just basically did all the reboots and stuff with a blank administrator password, forced me to change it on the way in. It's now preparing my desktop, and notice that's how easy it is to do a Windows Server 2008 Enterprise install. Took maybe 35 minutes on my machine. Again, going into a virtual environment, you will get probably better service on number one, better equipped machines. And then not going into virtual environments. But there we are. Notice we're up and running. And so what this thing is going to do now is show me just the recycle bin on the desktop, and it will eventually kick off, here we go, the initial configuration task wizard. And it's telling me, for example, to set my time zone, configure networking, provide a computer name and a domain. Notice we did not join a domain. Didn't even ask us about that. So now we have to join a domain and so forth. And if we're going to set up Active Directory, we will look at that later on this very machine. And we can enable automatic updating and feedback, and we can add roles. Let me scroll on down. Add features, enable remote desktop, configure our firewall. Right now it's just on. Okay, so I will close this. And now you'll notice that it is now going to take me directly into the Server Manager. I haven't done anything. I just closed that window. It took me into Server Manager, and now I can start to notice set roles, set features, and we'll look at diagnostics and configuration and some other things a little bit later on in the course. Okay, so there's a basic Windows Server 2008 install. I hope that gives you an idea of what you're up against. You get to see one and you kind of know what to expect.